Hey guys, Stan here. I want to talk about a pretty big topic today, which is the widespread use in bodybuilding of metformin. So I actually wrote an article on this on my website on tn.com, and the article is metformin, and I list a whole bunch of reasons why I hate it. I'm not going to get into all those. You can go website and read it because I'm going to focus on the main one that everybody would most likely care about in the fitness bodybuilding community. So besides it doing whole bunch of bad crap like depleting nutrients, raising homocysteine levels, and just a whole bunch of bad crap. The main one that likely interests most the fitness and bodybuilding community is its effects on mTOR. Um, mTOR for the past, I don't know, decade or so online has been a pretty big talked about. Um, it's just mentioned in studies all the time, things that inhibit it or whatever. um where was I going with this? Okay, so yeah, metformin essentially, so not essentially, I don't even know what I'm saying. Metformin is shown in studies to inhibit mTOR, and mTOR is basically the main mechanism or a main pathway for cell proliferation. So you want muscle growth. You do not want to inhibit mTOR. End of story. Like it's muscle growth isn't going to happen if mTOR is inhibited. Period. So they actually did a study where they had both groups exercise, and one group took metformin and the other one did it. And the group that took metformin had their muscle growth completely inhibited. They saw no muscle growth. Yeah. So, crap, where was I going with this? Sorry, it's been so long since I did a video, and I'm like completely just like going through my difficulty talking to the camera. Yeah. So again, this is probably the biggest reason I don't like metformin, even though there's a whole bunch of reasons I don't like it. Um, if people don't suggest metformin, this is another funny thing I always see suggested online. When people don't suggest metformin, they'd be like, "Oh, just use berberine instead." Berberine has some less side effects, but it takes a quick Google search and you'll see that berberine also inhibits mTOR. So when people try and say, "Oh, berberine's safer, just as good alternative," no, it's not. It's still causing many of the same issues. And the main reason people use, metformin or berberine is to increase insulin sensitivity because they think, oh, it's going to help with gains. I have better insulin sensitivity, more nutrients into my muscle cells, and I'll be, you know, they're expecting an insulin-like effect. So yeah, it's actually inhibiting your gains to an extremely strong degree. And if somebody is actually looking to improve insulin sensitivity, and depending on the reason why your insulin sensitivity might be poor, or if you're just trying to improve it in general, there's much better, safer ways to go about it. So, example, if you're using GH in your and you have insulin resistance, poor insulin sensitivity, you are better off just using insulin. Not like I'm trying to promote insulin use, even though I think it's an amazing drug and much safer than basically most anything out there. I'm not recommending anybody use anything. Um, you are when it comes to something like GH that is actually causing a severe insulin resistance, you are not really going to improve your insulin sensitivity via any real good mechanism besides just using insulin. Um, as that essentially the whole way GH is working and causing some of its benefits is literally by causing insulin sensitivity. And the only real way you're going to probably get around that is by using something like insulin. Versus if you just have a bad diet, you're eating a lot of foods that cause insulin resistance and lack of activity and so on, or just your prior lifestyle, there's much better ways to improve insulin sensitivity that isn't going to hurt your bodybuilding goals. Um, so I wasn't going to fully get into this, and because I feel like it's a whole another topic that is a very big topic. Number one, diet is the utmost key to keeping good, proper insulin sensitivity. You having a very strong micronutrient profile, like potassium, is strongly needed for insulin sensitivity. It's needed for insulin production. Magnesium is needed for insulin sensitivity. Adequate chromium is needed for insulin sensitivity. So I find when most people have poor insulin resistance, generally is more so of it always is a lifestyle as a whole issue, but lifestyle is kind of like that's a very what word am I trying to think here? Like a very wide ranged comment. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Um, yeah, so lifestyle includes activity levels, what you're eating. So most of you in the fitness community likely possibly have the activity levels down. You're working out, but you still might be sedentary, sit at an office in an office job all day. But dietary is where I find most people fail. There's a really neat study where they showed they did sedentary people, professional amateur athletes, I can't remember, and basically every single one of them, it was every single one of them, for over 50% of their nutrients, lacked 50% of the adequate intake. So and I find this with everybody. People always say, "Oh no, my diet's good, my diet's good," and then I actually look at their diet if I get them to write it down, and it's like, okay, here, look at your diet actually on paper. Like your diet is actually shit micronutrient wise, and if you don't have adequate micronutrients, for instance, sensitivity, insulin production, so on, like how are you expecting to function properly or be healthy or have healthy insulin sensitivity, and so on. So yeah, I hate the term when somebody says, "Oh, my diet's good." I suggest everybody go to chronometer.com, download the app, and actually put in your diet and see where your micronutrient intake lies. And then it's not just a micronutrient thing too. As studies show, higher saturated fat intake is worse for insulin sensitivity compared to saturated fatty acid intake. If you are severely low in salt, actually, too many people don't know. If you are very, very low, this causes insulin resistance as well. So yeah, there's a lot better ways to handle it, and you're better off fixing the root cause of your insulin sensitivity. Whether it's diet or lifestyle versus throwing a drug at it, which is improving it, whether it's short term or temporarily, depending on the drug. Like certain ones, they just slow your appetite, so you're not eating much, so it improves it. That's not the right way to go about it. You want to fix the root cause. So yeah, I think I kind of covered all of that, hopefully. Again, sorry guys, I haven't done my videos in a while, so I'm kind of all over the place. Um, yeah, I think that's it for it. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you to my forum members for supporting me, my website members, my followers on Facebook, subscribers on YouTube here. Yeah, and if you like the content, I really appreciate when my content is shared. It really helps me grow. Everybody who does share, I really appreciate that. That is what keeps me around, basically, and growing. So I appreciate all you guys following me and supporting and commenting, and the words of support and appreciation. So yeah, hopefully this was a good video. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.